Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Check it out. An inmate got attacked, went viral from an X tape that was on OnlyFans of him getting oral and vaginal from a female correction officer. So you don't want to miss this. This is what's going on. Let's get it popping. All right. All right, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. We in the house. We ain't playing no games, and we ain't taking no hostages. We gonna play this tape to just get right to the point so that you see what's going on. Female officer was in there. That lady right there, that's the actual footage that they screenshot of her getting hit from the back. You know? Sit back, man. I mean, and you know I'm gonna have a whole lot of rides for this. Because it happens all the time. All right.
An inmate who made headlines around the globe for having sex with a guard has been attacked in prison. I'll tell you what we know about the attack on Linton Wyrick and how his young daughter was also hurt.
How do you think his young daughter was hurt while he was in the visit? Let's talk about it.
Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. You might not know the name Linton Wyrick, but you probably heard about the case he was very much a part of in the UK, and you're not going to believe it when I tell you what happened to him and his little baby in a prison.
Yo, you know what's crazy, right? You get females, right? Can we ride? You get females that come, you know, and get correction officer jobs, and they usually busted, don't get no attention on the street. You know, or if they look good, then their self-esteem is real low. So they come in and now they see all these men and, you know, we go work out and throw on the baby oil, get the sweating going and get them drooling at the mouth. And the whole time we just trying to figure out a way that we can bag them to bring the pack. Remember that, to bring the pack. You got 30 days in the prison, right? If it's a female or a male correction officer, and you having conversation with him, meaning you in the office every day, you got 30 days to break him. If you can't get him to bring the pack, that's cigarettes, weed, tobacco, cell phone, or whatever you want. If you can't break him in 30 days, you get out the way and let someone else try. If you're in there more than 30 days, that means that you failed, and now you're a potential dry snitching. Because that means you holding conversation like you think this officer is one of you, and he's not one of you, because his job is to lock you up. But if he can make $1 from bringing the pack, he's going to bring the pack. All right.
Wyrick made headlines after he had sex with a prison guard at the notorious HMP Wandsworth Prison in southwest London. Another inmate was recording as Wyrick had sex with Linda D'Souza Abreu. I told you about the case last year when
How y'all think look, put in the comments before you see the rest of this video. You think she cute? All right.
D'Souza Abreu pleaded guilty. When the story first broke,
Y'all, who wouldn't want to be in prison with that correction officer walking in after you've been in a decade or even a week, you know what I mean, for some weaker brothers. But look at this, man. That's a female correction officer, and I had to play, damn. Well, I was able to see the tape, but I ain't gonna lie, it was damn good. She choked out, and it was a real porno joint. So y'all go Google it, find the tape if you want to see it. Not encouraging you, because I don't think you should be looking at a woman doing that while she's in official capacity and she's got locked up and charged for it. So y'all shouldn't want to see her choking out like that.
Guard who ran an OnlyFans account seemed appalled that somebody accused her of making money off of the incident.
Why not make money off the incident? The inmate couldn't pay her. The jail wasn't paying her enough. Come on, dog.
There has been a lot, and I mean a lot, a tremendous amount of fake profiles of me that have been monetizing off of my misfortune, this scandal that the entire world has somehow managed to be involved in. I have not monetized one bit at all. This is my only social media platform and I only just activated it again.
All right, stop. We're going to stop the crap. We're going to stop the crap. All right? 'Cause we had a real gangster channel. We had a gangster channel, so we ain't even going to play these games. Check it out. So what she's really saying, right? Let's get this right. She's saying, I'm getting ready to start my own OnlyFans. Y'all been watching a bunch of fake accounts. Y'all been getting paid, you know, and helping them get paid. When I say y'all getting paid, you got a chance to, and they got paid by going to the, you know what I mean? And she's saying, I'm starting my own. This is where I'm at. This is my OnlyFans that I'm going to eat from. So stop giving your money to these fake accounts and bring the bag to me because it's me that choked out. So don't spread the money around. Let me get mine. They trying to benefit from the scandal that I wasn't benefiting from, but I'm trying to do it now. And I need your help to not go to those fake channels and come to mine and see how I freak out on the street, not just in the penitentiary.
So if you do come across fake profiles of me asking for money, please don't fall for it. There's been a lot.
D'Souza Abreu followed up by saying that she wanted people to look out for people impersonating her and trying to cash in.
I thought it very important for me to address this very distasteful subject of...
Hold up. That subject is distasteful when you was working for a government or state agency, you're on your knees having oral and vaginal sex. That wasn't distasteful? Or did I miss something? Or no disrespect, because I love the UK. Got a lot of people in the UK, but yo, you're making the UK look bad, young lady. Don't say that, man. You know what I mean? All that is distasteful. You even going on OnlyFans trying to benefit after that. But you got to eat. You got fired. We understand. But stop the games. All right?
Of OnlyFans creators impersonating, pretending to be me, and recreating the scenario of said scandal, which I am involved in.
Yo, they recreating it? Anybody find a link, send it to Unique Make Audio. Yo, they recreating her choking out. And acting like, yo, I got to find these pages.
Very, very distasteful for you to monetize or advertise yourselves as me for OF content.
She's saying it's distasteful to advertise as her, right? But it's not distasteful for her to go up there and promoting her choking out in the prison and getting fired and banged from the back. Am I missing something here? Somebody put in the comments and help me comprehend this.
It does interfere with my trial, but furthermore, it is incredibly distasteful. Please, if you are an OF creator, refrain from tagging said prison. We all know the name of the prison.
In other words, don't tag the prison that I was in, because now you're getting into my money because they tagging the prison that I was in and looking for me, and you're tagging the prison that I was in. So find another prison. It's distasteful for you to take my bag.
Please refrain from tagging HMP Wandsworth on your stupid videos.
Let me do it.
There are other jails in the world. You don't have to pretend to be me. It's very distasteful.
Let me get the money.
D'Souza Abreu held her head high when she went to court last August and pleaded guilty to misconduct in public office. As she was sentenced recently, the judge recounted
Damn, she bad.
what was on that video that went viral.
The recording lasts some 4.5 minutes. During
Yo, before we go any further, right? Look at this little wig piece. You know, my daughter even asked me about that. What's your YouTube channel again?
Juanita Mecca Audio. Please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell. You already know what it is.
All right, subscribe to my daughter's notification channel. But whatever. See, I'm all screwed up. This is all new to me. What they call it? YouTube channel. Juanita Mecca Audio. All right, and Unique Mecca Audio prison stories. If you want to hear more prison stories in Mecca Audio TV, and you know where you at. Now, the joint that he's wearing on his head, that's from back in the days, like with George Washington. You know, back in those days, you know, when they was discovering America. The sheep was very valuable. You know what I mean? That's sheep here that the men wore wigs out of to show their wealth and their prestige and their, you know, status. So you rat bastards, put it in the comment if you disagree with what I'm saying. But now, I learned this from being on a farm. So we got to ride. Now, I'm on a farm in Trenton, at Trenton State, for Trenton State Prison called Jones Farm. They had a bunch of sheeps and all that out there, right? So I saw the sheeps having babies, and when they had the baby, they fall out with all this gook around them and all that. They get up all night, they elbow paws or whatever you want to call it, and they rock a little bit, and they stand up on their feet, then they move around. And after about 2 minutes, they're running. They learned to, it was stand up, walk, and run in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? We used to have these freak dudes that used to be in there, right? And all they want to do is work with the sheep. Do you know why they want to work with the sheep? Somebody put it in the comment. Oh, they want to do it. Hey, boss, can I work with the sheep today? Hey, boss, let me work with the sheep today, boss. Let me work with the sheep today. You know, that's how they were doing it back then. Right? Now, I'm going to tell you why. Because they said sheep pussy look just like human pussy. So these dudes will work with the sheep, and I ain't got to say what they doing because it's YouTube, but just to give you a visual. But let's go. The hat on his head is what they wore during the George Washington days. We just took a unique ride. And make sure you subscribe at my daughter's YouTube channel.
Juanita Mecca Audio, and to my father's.
All right, Unique Mecca Audio Prison Story. Let's keep it moving.
In which you gave the prisoner oral sex, then vaginal intercourse in a number of positions.
Yo, so do you think he looked at that tape, and do you think he got turned on while looking at that tape? Somebody put in the comment, do you think that he was so professional he looked over his little rim-filled glasses and said, ooh, that's so distasteful? Or did he look around, see if everybody looking, and then... I mean, put it in the comments. I'm curious what you think.
Before concluding by giving him more oral sex. You participated with evident enthusiasm.
Notice she was enjoying it.
The second prisoner recorded events.
And another man...
And provided a commentary by way of encouragement.
What's the encouragement?
Including saying, guys, we made history. This is how we live at Wandsworth, bruv. And you know you are a gangster.
You know what they say? And you know you are a gangster. I like that there. Keep it moving.
And get this. The judge said D'Souza Abreu admitted to having sex with the inmate more than once.
You have asked for 2 other offences of misconduct in a public office to be taken into consideration.
In other words, take it into consideration that I told you that I didn't just bone him once. I screwed the crap out of him 2 more times. Take that into consideration. Do you think she should get less time because she admitted that it wasn't just once? I freaked out with him a few times.
One was performing oral sex on the same prisoner on a separate occasion on the same day. An event partly recorded by accident on your prison-issue body-worn camera.
You think that was an accident, or she was just trying to go viral and make history? I mean, somebody tell me what you think right now, you know? How you gonna mistakenly turn on your body cam while you choking out or you getting banged out from the back? Does that happen by accident? Somebody put in the comments.
The other was a previous occasion of sexual intercourse with the same prisoner.
Unbelievable. Her body camera came on by accident, he said, and recorded it. Linton Wyrick, who was serving time for breaking into a home, was moved to the Swalesdale prison after the video went viral. There were videos of him on TikTok from before his incarceration, and he's a pretty fit guy. But this wasn't a fist fight or something like that. The Telegraph reports Wyrick was assaulted on December 18th when his girlfriend visited him at the prison, and Wyrick was actually holding his 3-month-old baby in a visiting area. Wyrick, according to the site, fell and suffered head injuries, and the baby suffered a skull fracture because Wyrick fell on top of the baby since he was holding the baby. Kent police confirmed to the Telegraph that an assault happened at the prison and that they were investigating, but wouldn't say much more or identify Wyrick as the victim.
Yeah, so check, right? This is what we're going to do. I want to know from y'all, what do you think? Why did he get jumped? That's all I want to know. Why did he get jumped to you? You know, can you tell me why you feel that he got jumped? Somebody put it in the comments. Let's see what's going on over there. All right? I'm going to tell you why he got jumped after they give you their little Lilliputians. That means small, minute, opinion. All right? So let's get this thing started, man.
I want to bring in Justin Paperny to talk about all of this. He's a prison consultant. Justin, let's start with the sex in the prison. Let's go chronologically with all of this. Linton Wyrick had sex with this prison guard. The judge in the sentencing hearing said it wasn't just once; it was like 3 times at least. That's what she admitted to. So, how common is it that prison guards are having sex with inmates?
It's pretty common. Once a week in America, a guard is getting arrested for some conduct. When I was in a minimum security camp 15 years ago, there was some issues with a nurse and a guard sleeping with some prisoners. So it's pretty common, unfortunately. Most do a great job, but there are some anomalies. The problem here is this video went viral, and the brand damage to the prison, together with the heightened security, has created so many problems, not just for the prison guard who's doing 15 months, now for this prisoner who is enduring some of that fallout. So I'm kind of ashamed to say it's more common than people think.
Wow, more common than people think. It just sounds kind of icky because, as a prison guard, you are supposed to be overseeing everybody, ensuring that people are safe.
Hey, yo, stop the crap. Stop the crap. Yeah, it sounds icky. What is icky about a woman on the street? Now, let's start with the, I'm going to say convict, because I don't use the word inmate, because the inmate does what he's supposed to do and the convict does what he want to do. And I don't deal with inmates. I deal with convicts, men. Gunshots to the convicts, But let's get our lives together. Now, she just said, I don't even know what the hell she said. What did she say, babe?
She said it's icky because you're supposed to actually think about, law enforcement doing better.
Oh, okay. See, that's why my baby here.
Because that icky part got me, the word.
Yeah. She's saying that is icky when you got a man that's been in jail for weeks, months, years, decades, couple of decades. And then here goes a bad female like her. She look good. We can't say she don't, But now, she's working there, and the first thing you say is, man, I can bag her, because I know if I was on the street, I could get her. So now you're going to go at her, and that's the challenge that you have with yourself, that you're going to get her. But now inmate has that challenge with other inmates because they put other inmates in their business because they're borderline suspect already. Because a convict keeps his secrets to himself. That means that he's riding with the code. So if she get me some, in other words, let me say, how the best way to put it? What makes me come don't make you come. You know what I mean? So I don't need to tell you that I came with this chick, blah, 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 because now you're going to say, she's screwing. Let me go try my hand. That's like you telling somebody, can we ride? That's like you telling somebody, man, my girl get the best head in town. Oh, my girl got the best back shot. You're going to be like, I need some of the best. Now, before you know it, dude trying to talk to your girl. And then now, he go and he's just trying to get it one time first. Just first. And he's willing to pay for it. So now he want to take it shopping. He want to take it to the mall. He want to take it to an expensive restaurant. And her man has been budgeting. They working together on the budget. And she acting like, oh, I'm with it, baby. But the whole time she want to go shopping. And here go his man want to take it shopping because he heard that she choking out like a mother. You know what I mean? And before you know it, she give him some, and then his dumb ass go tell somebody else, and then it get back to him, and now dude want to fight his man because his man got oral from his girl when it was his girl all the time that was down with it. He violated for stepping to her. Let's get that right. You know what I mean? But she violated for accepting, so they both in the wrong. But how do you pick one to go at? Now, you could just end a relationship with your friend, and you ain't got to worry about saying nothing to him. Do what you want to do. Or you could go to your girl, talk to your girl about it, be a but I love a dog dude. I understand you choked out on my man, cold disrespected me, and he ran up in you all kinds of ways, and you let him experience what I was open on, but I love you, dog. I don't want you to go. And she's looking at him like, you big sucker. And then she could keep doing what she's doing. But let's get back to that. But she's saying it's icky, man. Like I said, you got the convicts that's in there, ain't had no sex in a minute. You got the females not getting attention on the street, low self-esteem, and a lot of them, if they look good, the self-esteem is low. If they're ugly, then they just not getting no rhythm. So they go in there and here you go, you around 1,000, 1,500 men, and you looking at everybody all earled up, different size, shapes, colors, nationalities. Now you getting all moist every day you walk into that prison as a guard. That's why we always had that conversation. This is a good conversation people used to ask the female guards. How do your man feel about you working in here? And y'all put in the comments, would you allow your woman to work in a man's penitentiary? Put the reason why and yes or no. I want to hear the reason and let's be respectful. But, you'll let your woman go to work around a bunch of slinging all day for 8 hours and around a bunch of male or opposite, sex officers that is just as backed up, as their co-workers. So you got a bunch of backed up freaks in one cabin, and everybody's trying to see what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? Let's keep it moving, man. We got to get back to this.
Ensuring that maybe there's not, hijinks going on in the prison. You are compromised. You do compromise yourself and put yourself in a really horrible position when you do something like this. And the judge noted it. So, I don't know how you fix this problem.
Well, you have to recognize it's hard to hire in corrections. That's not an excuse, but we have to embrace that. We don't pay these correction officers a ton of money. Correction prisons want more money for training. We want more money for re-education and preparing prisoners to go home. But if the tone at the top isn't set, and if there isn't appropriate protocol and consequence, these things unfortunately are going to happen. And in so doing, what she has done is created a riskier or unsafe environment for other guards, primarily the female prison guards, which is
in other words, dudes might start taking the X.
Something the judge justified in giving her a federal prison sentence. They could be manipulated. Other prisoners can see this as opportunity to exploit and take advantage. So the lion's share of correctional officers, I know because we have worked with so many, do a great job. It's these examples that make it harder for everyone. They bring scrutiny, and it brings more attention to these prisons that are just ill-equipped to manage these crises. So you need a better tone at the top, more accountability, better training, both for prisoners and staff. It is not normal.
How do you train a prisoner not to get stimulated and want to get with a staff member of the opposite sex? Do you see how stupid that sounds? How do you train an inmate not to get sexually aroused when he haven't been with a woman in decades? And how do you train a woman to not get moist when she look at unique Mecca audio? You tell me how you train her. If she look at me, how do you say, oh, don't get moist when you look at him? I know he's sweet chocolate and all that, but don't get moist. You don't train somebody that.
Normal. I've been to prison. It is not normal to both live in that environment, but also to work there. And I think we have to embrace that as we try to create a better system of corrections.
They also need better screening. I mean, this is, obviously this is a problem not just in the United States. I mean, this case is over in the UK. So they said the prisons realize they need better screening.
How do you screen to find out if someone is a freak? Somebody let me know in the comments. But my thing is, you just saw what that girl looked like, right? She looked like she's even doing OnlyFans, right? What did these superiors at the prison think when she sat there and handed in her application for a job? And 9 times out of 10, she's probably wearing some tight-ass shirt with big nipples sticking out. You know what I mean? Maybe went in with some cootie shorts on, Then again, she might have went in there wearing some Dickies. You know what I mean? Trying to look like she had a prison uniform. But you could look in a female's eyes and a male's eyes and see what's on their mind, because the eyes is the window to the soul, and you could look into the eyes and tap into the soul to see if they're a freak or not. That's why Islamically we tell it's in the Quran that our women are supposed to look down and don't make eye contact with other men, because that's the window to the soul. All right, let's ride for a minute, right? Just for a minute. You got a female, right? And she's a bartender. Now, she's a bartender. She look good. Bartenders always dress, like a stripper. But that's how they get their tips, and they behind the bar, so they protected, so they look that different. With a stripper, look at anything go. Bartender looks like look but don't touch. So when you're getting drunk, you get a little enjoy talking to a pretty female, nice body, dressed like a stripper. So now you in there and you're talking to the female, and you're pouring your soul out, right? If you could get her to look at you, or let's say you're a female bartender, right? Or even a male bartender, you got a female there, or you're a female bartender with a male there, and you're sitting there and you get to make eye contact with this person that's on the other end of the counter that you're pumping liquor into. If you see that he's wearing a nice expensive watch, if you see him wearing a nice chain, you see that, he's wearing a Armani suit, and you say, oh, I want him. First thing you do is you make eye contact while you talking, and while you talking, he's going to be thinking the thoughts he's thinking, which is, I'll bone the crap out of this chick. She don't know the positions I put her in. And she get to laughing and touching them all on his shoulder. But, y'all getting too much for nothing.
They don't really want prison guards who have OnlyFans accounts. Plus, this is somebody who really was liking attention. She had been on a television show, that type of thing.
And they didn't see that when she turned in her application?
So you just mentioned it's not easy to get people to do these jobs. I mean, they don't pay a lot. Why she was wanting to do this job, I don't know. But
she had low self-esteem and she wanted to get a freak on. I don't care what nobody say. You don't go into prison, right? Listen, it's bad. Listen, right? Go we ride. You're a female, you go to prison and you see somebody, you're attracted to them, can't control your emotions, you get a little moist, you know what I mean? You kiki kaka, touchy-feely with that inmate, whatever you do, then you get to doing what you're doing, you creep off in a corner, in his cell or a closet or wherever you decide to go and do your dirty deeds, right? So now while you sitting there doing that, you're not thinking anything but, I'm attracted to this man. I like this dude, and their emotions is taking over. But when you got a female that has another man standing in a room while she drop her pants in a prison, you tell me what kind of woman that is. She got one man filming her, making a porno, while she's bent over backwards or on her knees choking out, and then she accidentally, wink, wink, hits the body camera and turns it on so the captain can see how good she doing the inmate, because he should have put her in a plush office in the prison to keep her away from the men, and she would have just been choking him out all day. See, the captains in the prison, the wardens, and the case managers, the unit managers, the ones that's got a little power, they get an assistant. You know what I mean? The big wigs get a staff assistant, and when you go lower down, they get a male assistant. And the females that work there would take a dude that, they attracted to and say, hey, you want to clean my office up every day? I'll put you on the payroll and I'll pay you this. And they come in, clean the office, but they get to spend time with that inmate in the back. Notice I didn't say convict. Okay. Because if she would have went to a convict and asked him about coming to clean up in the back, you know what I mean? He would have known how to say what needed to say to make eye contact and see what she really getting at before he commit to doing it. Like, you might just think I'm a herb and you trying to just put me back here because I got a name on the compound. And if that's what it is now, I ain't trying to be back here because I got a name on the compound. I'm trying to be back here because I'm trying to bust your guts out, or, trying to get you to bring the pack. It's always about the pack. It ain't about the guts. The pack is number one, because the pack is whatever they bring you that you sell for currency. And that's why we have the U.S. postage stamps that they use as currency in the prison. You know what I mean? This is $10. This is a book of stamps. You know what I mean? So you put all them together, do what they call penitentiary rich, sticker. I'm penitentiary rich. All right.
Better screening is probably part of this whole thing as well.
Better screening, perhaps paying more if possible, but there should be sufficient training before someone steps on the job for the first day. And that
How do you train them not to get moist, or train an inmate or convict not to get hard?
should include, what are some of your tendencies as a human being? Are you sympathetic to people who are in prison? It's partly why they argue I can never be on a jury prison, they just presume I'm going to acquit. I can't see it objectively. So you need to understand the mannerisms, the tendencies, the idiosyncrasies to the extent that you can of people you are hiring.
And that's the same way us as convicts and the inmates too. We look at the officers for these same breakdowns that they're saying. But this is not training, this is common sense. Like, what are they really talking about? Nothing special.
There needs to be surveillance. Then there needs to be follow-up. Then there needs to be continued training. Then if there are breakdowns in processes, there needs to be accountability. And until that happens, we're going to continue to see these isolated incidents that embarrass the prison, bring terrible reputational damage, make it more violent for staff. And really what prisons care about around the world is keeping costs down and security of the institution. This doesn't do either because it brings more litigation, perhaps more training, which costs money. So if someone's going to work in corrections before they step onto that prison compound for the first day, they should have gone through extensive training, and it has to continue, which is what so many Fortune 500 companies in America do. You get trained and you continue to train. If we have officers overseeing prisoners, it should be no different. If anything, it's almost more important because if you don't have the proper training, you see what happens. Total anarchy, total breakdowns, and people like you and me talk about these cases and ask, how can we do better? Starts with a good tone at the top and appropriate training.
So let's move on to, the other kind of person who starred in this video, Linton Wyrick. They moved him, not surprisingly, from the Wandsworth prison to the Swalesdale prison after this whole thing happened. I mean, first of all, why would they move him? Is it because he became, too notorious in that prison for misbehaving? I mean, why move him from where he was when she's been removed from the equation?
If someone were anywhere around the world, any prison, if you engage in a disciplinary infraction or do something wrong, there are consequences. That could be time in the hole, losing good time, getting transferred, the uncomfortable experience of transit. But the prison doesn't want any more, they don't want any more eyes on it. So part of the ways they can remove the eyes is say, get this dude out of here, let somebody else deal with him. Sometimes it's to a higher security prison, but there is so much attention. And who is that guy? Someone surrenders to the prison. What's the first thing they're going to say? I saw that guy in Law and Crime.
Look, see, that's what I'm saying. They never know what they talking about, but they always talking crap. They moved the dude because the same reason, and I'm telling you now, I know it's a little late in the video, but the same reason why a dude got jumped in the visiting hall. This female was probably screwing other chicks. Other dudes. You know what I mean? She in there choking out on other dudes. And then now this dude does something stupid like make a video, put it on OnlyFans and blow it up where now they done took the female out and now they don't have that pussy no more. You understand what I'm saying? So when he went to visit, even though he had his baby in his arms, somebody probably seen him, allegedly, and just ran up on him and bah, 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 bah. You know what I mean? And they gave him about a good combination. You ran him? Oh, dude, what is wrong with you? This is what that's about. And they moved the other inmate that filmed it because they said, you got to be the dumbest dude. You ain't even getting no ussy and you caught up in all of this. And then you filming it. You know, say that his life was in danger, allegedly, at the prison that he was in because he ran the ussy off the compound.
He went viral. They're going to seek him out. So to the extent the prison can remove that problem, they just transfer you. And that's very common here in America too. A crying mother called 3 days ago. Her son got caught with an iPhone. They are shipping him from California all the way across the country to Alabama. They just want to remove the problem as best they can, start over somewhere else.
Wow. Okay. So that brings us then to December 18th. Linton Wyrick, according to the reporting, is with his baby, a 3-month-old, and his girlfriend in a visiting area. He's holding the baby. Someone attacks him and he falls. He suffers a head injury. And then the baby suffers a skull fracture because he falls on the baby. So this is a violent assault. Kent police aren't saying for sure it's him, but the reporting out there is that it is indeed him. And the Kent police are investigating this. So did that whole thing, we don't know much about the investigation other than they have a suspect or suspects and they're investigating. Did this potentially make him a target? And how on earth, getting attacked in a visitation area seems crazy to me. And you would think they would have video cameras in there. They would know who did this by now.
There is no doubt the only reason he was attacked
no.
is because of this conduct. That conduct can lead to people admiring him, prisoners liking him, lionizing him. It could also lead to those saying, we loathe this guy because we had our routine. He has disrupted it. There's more security and eyes on us because this person engaged in this conduct, and now he's in this prison. He has disrupted our routine. More scrutiny, more eyes on him. And some people don't like that. Also, prison is a very violent environment. It's a predatory environment. So someone could be bored. They might not care about their release date. They might not even have a release date. So to create some excitement, perhaps for people like you and me and others to talk about it, they say, I'm just going to go rogue. I'm going to injure him. I'm going to make an example of him so other people know what happens if you create a mess and bring it to this prison. So they are sending a signal, so to speak. And I know in retrospect, he would do everything differently. I hope he would. I don't know. But there is no doubt, no question, they made an example out of him. I will say, even in a minimum security camp where I served time, one time a guy didn't clean the microwave good enough. The correctional officers took the microwaves away for a week. This dude went back to his dorm, to his cubicle, to his bunk. There was feces, there were urine. It was awful, all to make an example out of him because he made it harder for everyone else on the inside. That's exactly what happened here.
Yikes. But injuring the baby, that seems to be taking things, who knows if that was intentional, but you're attacking somebody holding a baby. I don't know all of the rules of what goes on in prisons, but that seems to me possibly to be something that would be kind of frowned upon. I don't know. What are the ethics of all of this behind bars in prison?
Certainly there's written and unwritten rules. I would argue if he was even considering that, we know his primary focus was probably this guy who engaged in this sex tape. And if there were some collateral consequences, in this case, the baby, as tragic as it is, in his mind, he probably wasn't considering that. And depending on why he's serving time and how long, and if he has this criminogenic mindset of not even having any concern for any other people, lacking empathy, he might not even care and say, this is the consequence of bringing more attention to this prison. You should have thought about that before you brought more attention to me and disrupting my prison routine. But I would agree.
See, that's a bunch of bull. A lot of it he said was good, but a lot of it was some bull crap. Bottom line is, he's holding a baby in his hand. There is no empathy. You violated, you stopped my life, so I'm going to ruin your life, and I don't care who's in your hand, your baby, your 90-year-old mama, anything. And that's the mindset that he don't understand. He's using these big words, sickle holes, and he's saying all these old words that I can't even repeat. You know, well, bottom line, this dude don't give a crap. When you choose war, everything is fair game in war, and that's why they have what they call casualties of war. So if you're holding your baby and you stop me from doing something, and I feel it's enough that I'm trying to get at you, I got my one chance to get at you. Let me give you a story. Because we like to ride. I remember Fordham Road, Disco Fever. We had Disco Fever. This is back in like maybe 88, 89. You know, I'm a teenager, right? I see a dude that I'm beefing with, right? So I catch him because everybody used to drive by the Fever. You know, you drive by a club, it's a lot of cars. You walk, you driving slow. So I pull up there, the little tire fix flat and all that was still there, right? I see the dude creeping by with his car. You know, I said, oh, I got him now. I tiptoe up to the window. I pulled the joint out, and I'm getting ready to get him. And then just when I'm getting ready to get him, the seat pops up. Like somebody pops up in the seat. He had like his 7-year-old son sitting in the car. And I got the gun, and God forgive me. You know, this was the path that I was on, and I'm glad I got my life together. But I got the gun in this little baby's face. I had two choices. I could have pushed him out of his way and took care of my business with his father, you know, or I could have got him and his father. And that's where the no empathy come in. But I wasn't that, they say ruthless at the time. So when I seen his son, I just told him, yo, I got you. So you make sure you kiss your son when you tuck him in the night because he just saved your life. Then I peeled out. But the beef was still on. But my empathy allowed me to put myself in harm's way because if I would have got rid of the problem, I wouldn't have to worry about if he's coming back or not. It was a good thing that him seeing the joint in his son's face was enough empathy for his son to contact me and let me know he gonna give me my money. You know what I mean? And everything was done for the bag back then. Dude had my money. He thought he was slick. He driving around. He doing his thing. He ain't pay me. I'm waiting to catch him. I catch him at the fever. Just when I roll up, his son was laid back in the seat because it was 2 a.m. And when his son sat up, I got a joint in his face and I'm looking at him. He looking at me and I could see the horror thinking that I'm going to be that ultimate unempathetic animal and shot his baby face. Sorry to be so graphic, but I just want y'all to understand that that's how real it is on the street. You got some brothers that would have took the baby out and him out. But luckily, I had empathy and a heart. There's a lot of brothers out there without heart, man. So be careful when you choose to enter off the porch. Go to school, get a job, so that you don't have to put yourself in the situation that I put myself in. You know, but that's where we at. Just wanted to ride and let you know about that.
I don't think the intentions were to hurt the baby. It was simply to make an example out of him.
No.
There's
He didn't care about the
terrible
baby.
fallout. And of course, much like the prison guard who's serving time in 15 months, her children and family will suffer. Now we have this person who engaged in this sex act with her. Now the children are suffering as well. It's a tragic experience, and I just hope it never happens again.
We assume charges will eventually be filed against, the person or persons who did this, who carried out the attack. How does Linton Wyrick go back to this prison? Or do they move? I guess they move the prisoner who committed the attack, because that's going to be a disciplinary infraction plus criminal charges that they'll likely file against
Definitely
this
separate
person.
them, send them to a different jail.
Yikes, I don't know how you
One of
put
them.
this guy back
The
in
one
this
that got
prison.
beat
Do you
up.
just move him again, or what goes on?
Several things could happen. If he's injured and hurt, he may have to go to a medical facility. Depending on how much time he has left on his sentence, his lawyer should argue there's nowhere that can house him right now. Please move him to house arrest so he can finish his sentence. The prison can't protect him. They are unable to take care of him. So an option could be releasing him home. If he's in a medical spot, there will be more scrutiny there as he gets treatment from this injury. Or he could just remain isolated. Bankman-Fried, Diddy, Luigi, others who are high profile. The prison system does not want problems. We know what happened with Epstein. So there is a chance if he remains in prison, they say, sorry, my man, you are at too great a risk to the prison. You are creating too many problems. You're going to remain in isolation 23, 24 hours a day until this ends. And that would be devastating for him. And it goes all the way back to the consequences and engagement that he engaged in. He would do it all differently if he could, I'm sure. But he just may remain in total isolation and lockdown until he's free.
So that's what that is. What do y'all think about that? Put in the comments. We've been up here long enough. We're not going to play no games. Make sure you subscribe at my daughter's YouTube channel at Juanita Mecca Audio and subscribe to Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories and Mecca Audio TV. Hit the notification bell. Let's tap out. Hit the QR code for my man Lou Sims' book. Let's keep this thing moving because this is how we do it. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Out the can of 26, heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block. Did his time, never squealing to the cops, Mecca Audio.